Song of We're Live. But today we're feeling a kind of way because there's so much happening around our country and so much happening in our world. And so while we are still God's Got Jokes TV, we are also still people who know that some things are not a laughing matter. And so today we will have an extended version of one of our segments that you all know of in the headlines. All episode. Well, most of the episode. Because at the end of the day, we're still God's Got Jokes TV, and we got to end on a little bit of a high note. So we've got some great high notes toward the end of our show about our premarital counseling and our Black love story, and just some great things that are coming up. So without further ado, let's get this show started. If you are watching on YouTube, please comment, rate, and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please tag somebody and press that share, okay?
And if you're following us on Instagram, or if you don't follow us on Instagram, please follow us. I'm at Jamal Rich Comedy.
And I'm at Portionality. And you can follow us at God's Got Jokes TV. So check us out and tune in. And so, Jamal, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Unfortunately, this week was very traumatic week, very heavy week, very hard to get through week, especially if you were Black or a Black ally. We had the unfortunate killing of George Floyd. A police officer had his knee on his throat while he was handcuffed, and he said, "I can't breathe," and he did not let go, and the man just died for no reason at all, and there's just no reason for that to happen. It's just very unfortunate that black men, black people, black women are still dying in this country, being killed for absolutely no reason.
I can tell it's even hard for you to talk about. Like, I can feel it, Jamal. Yeah. I can feel it, right? I can feel your pain right now. Because as Black people, we just want to live, right? We just want to live. We just want to be free. We just want to be who we be without anybody interrupting that process. And so this week, with the death of George Floyd, with the killing of Tony McDade, we have seen all kinds of uprisings because people are tired. And if you don't know, Tony McDade was killed in Tallahassee, Florida. Tony McDade is a trans man of color. He is a trans Black man. And so he was murdered. And so we've also got to remember to uplift these stories of trans people of color, just like when Nina Pop was killed and nobody said anything. I shouldn't say nobody. Not a lot of people.
Very few
not people.
Enough.
And not enough brought up that, right? And so we speak the names of also trans people who have lost their lives, because Black trans lives matter too. And so this week we were just filled with already just coming off of the news of Ahmaud and coming off of the news of Breonna, just all of this news that we were hearing. And then just the generational pain of all of the things that we have experienced over the last decade, right? Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Michael Brown, right? All of these, Freddie Gray, Eric Gardner, right? All of these men and women who have died, Atiana Jefferson, at the hands of some white person, right? Most of the cases, it was police, but not all. We see these killings, senseless killings of Black bodies, Black people, bloodshed, and it's so hurtful to us to be able to continue to see this happening. And I will say, we're at the point where Black folk, we ain't taking it no more. So either if you're an ally, you either got to speak up, pull up, and show up, or back up, because right now this is a time where we really need to be talking about these things. Racism is a systemic problem in the United States, right? This country was founded on racism. This country was founded on oppression. Hello? Because this nation was already occupied when Europeans and whatnot showed up and then had the nerve to take us with them. Child, please. And so what you see throughout history is folk trying to colonize other free bodies. And we here in 2020, we're at the point where we're saying, you can't do this to us anymore. And we're going to stand up, and to think that we're not going to rise, you better think again.
And it's crazy because there's literally people out there who are dumbfounded and they don't know why we are outraged about this. Like, and it doesn't make sense to me how you can't comprehend why we're outraged. You know, we're black people are outraged because, you know, our jobs are essential, but our lives are not, you know? Black people are outraged because this country was built on black excellence and they won't let us be great. You know, we're outraged because, you know, our 3 generations, right? Like even from slavery to George Floyd, our people just keep getting killed senselessly.
And for what? Right? For what? And so I have such a problem with the fact that white people, not literally every single white person, though we believe what you say, Jamal, you believe what?
Oh yeah, you know, racism is a white responsibility. I'll say it again. Racism is a white responsibility. You may not be racist, but your ancestors built the institution of racism that you benefit from.
Bloop.
So you can't put the bacon in the pan and then get mad when the grease pops. You know, your ancestors put the bacon in the pan, turned the flame on high, and now the grease is popping, overflowing out the skillet, and you just walking by not doing anything while the house burned down.
Hello. Speaking of house burning down, we literally saw fires, right? Okay. Folk came out and literally burned the police precinct out in Minneapolis. Apparently there was a Target that was burnt down. And here's the thing about big corporations, okay? So big corporations need to take a stand. And if they can't take a stand, if your favorite brand isn't taking a stand, you might as well stop giving them your money, okay? So for instance, we see Jamal has got the swoosh on, okay? So I'm going to say this. You know, you're wearing Nike right now. Right. Nike is a very, very, very a brand that is behind the Black Lives Matter movement, right? We saw Netflix post and say, hi, we're Netflix, and we also declared that Black Lives Matter because our talent, our writers, our crew, our consumers are people of color too, and we cannot sit here and not speak up for them. We are buying into a capitalist society, right? Making more people rich, and if we are going to buy back the block and buy back some, you know, this, buy back the country we built, we need to stop funding, okay, coins. We need to stop funding people who don't stand up for us and tell our story and speak up for us, okay? And we really need to be buying black, buying local. Okay? Do you know approximately black people have like a 3 trillion spending power? That number might be a little wrong. You know, Google's everybody's friend. I don't got Google.
That's why you said approximately.
I said approximately. Okay. You know, we have a very large spending power in the United States of America. So therefore, we have a responsibility to hold these corporations and these places in accountability, right? We have a responsibility to keep them accountable. And a part of doing that is not giving them our dollars. Now, I mean, solely buying black can be a little hard, but it's not to say that it can't be done.
Oh yeah, it can be done. You know, if you're gonna buy black, you know, invest in our communities. If it's not, you know, to the standard of your liking, let them know. Give black people your constructive feedback so that we can be better. Black excellence exists. Like I said, it's the foundation this country was built on. So put your black dollars into black excellence, and then excellence will come back to you.
That's it. Put your black dollars into black businesses, and you get black excellence.
Yeah, if you can put your money into that coffee shop that they're gentrifying your neighborhood with, you can put the dollars right back into the other thing that's already been in your neighborhood.
Hello. You know, if that's you, if you know that your neighborhood is being gentrified and you see and you see the spending dollars and the power and all of that, throw up some hearts if you're on Facebook, put something in the comments. Let us know if you sick and tired of being sick and tired, as Fannie Lou Hamer would say. Let us know. Send something in the comments. Let us sound off in the comments. Let us know. Tell us why you mad.
Supporting black businesses isn't always like with black dollars too. Like if you don't have the money to invest in your community, a simple sharing on Instagram.
That's real.
Yeah, getting the word out that this business exists. Because some people, we have a lot of businesses that don't have storefronts.
Mm-hmm.
So just letting people know that this stuff exists makes a whole world of a difference. If you got a cousin who's sewing COVID-19 masks together, let everybody know so they can buy it from her.
Hello. So that we can stop buying it from, Susan, Karen, Becky, and Amy.
Right.
So we can stop funding them. So yeah, all of these protests, we've seen like the fires, as I mentioned, the fires. Today actually happens to be the liturgical day in the liturgical calendar, the Christian calendar known as Pentecost, where we knew that the people were on one accord and they started speaking like fire, the tongues of fire.
Teach us.
Okay, the tongues of fire, a little bit, a fire, okay, all the fires. And so I think it's interesting that we're seeing literally fires being set ablaze, and it's the spirit of Pentecost. And we see the people literally on one accord as they are protesting. People are on accord protesting in the streets. And my prayer is that people will be careful, that people will be safe.
Yes.
Now, we know that everybody protesting, everybody's not wearing a mask. We are in a pandemic. So if you are protesting, please cover your face. Please cover your face. We really don't want to see a resurgence of this coronavirus, especially knowing that our community is the ones that are being most exposed to this, because we are the ones who are the essential workers. And so I think that if you're gonna protest, if you're gonna go out, please cover your face, please cover yourselves. We are praying for you. We're just lifting you up. If you're gonna go out, please just keep yourself safe. And but it's beautiful to see the people on one accord. It's beautiful to see people going forth and doing what they know to do. And here's the thing, everybody's got a role, right? If you don't want to protest, don't knock somebody who wants to go out and protest because they feel the unction to go do so.
We just said be safe. Some people don't feel safe, but they feel convicted and they want to help, but they want to stay safe at the same time.
That's right. Follow your faith conviction. Whatever your conviction is, follow that. For some, sticky fingers on Twitter, go do your thing. Tweet that tweet. People are on social media. Do that. If you have to go and, like Jamal, you're a comedian, make some people laugh, because some people need to feel joy. We need to feel uplifted.
Now more than ever.
Right? Now more than ever, people need to feel uplifted. If you're a preacher, preach the gospel, right? Go preach it to the mountains move. Like whatever it is that you do, if you're an artist, create. Whatever you do, this is the time. We all have a role in this, and it's not going to look the same because we're all different people. But the point is, we're fighting the same fight, and we've all got to go forward in it.
Yep, and let's maintain the black positivity. Like they do a good enough job on their own spreading negativity about us. So when we talk to each other, we need to make sure that, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm just suggesting that when we talk to each other, we make sure we maintain positivity. We spread positive images that we want to spread. Make sure that the world knows that we are not animals and savages and what they make us out to be.
Right. We're positive people. We're good people. And we're going to keep being good people. We're going to keep shining our light wherever we go, because we black and we bomb. And what drives me insane?
What?
When folk want to, appropriate our stuff, you want to, and misappropriate, how about that? You want to dress like us, you want to sing like us, you want to dance like us, you want to rap like us, you want to play our music, you want to eat our food, but y'all don't want to be around us.
You know what? You gotta look. If you're gonna loot our culture, if you're gonna take our neighborhoods and gentrify them, the least you can do is give us the credit and support us when we need support.
Hello.
If you're gonna take it, be an ally. That's all I'm saying.
And being an ally isn't just saying, wow, I'm here today, and then you just skate, like, and that's it.
And being an ally is never just saying all lives matter, which all lives matter, but all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Well, you said that. That's Jamal's words. I say, all lives matter is a cop-out. Well, all lives matter. And it's like, do they though?
You ain't acting like it.
Hello. Your actions don't align. If all lives mattered, then we wouldn't be where we are.
Like I said, our jobs are essential, but you ain't acting like our lives are essential. So you believe it, act like it. Yeah. But, in the spirit of maintaining positivity and, Black positivity and Black love, we are a couple.
We are a couple.
And we getting married and we Black.
We are Black.
We personify Black love. Hey. So, I want to shift gears for a second and bring that positivity back home. And, we continued our marriage counseling, premarital counseling this week. And we did some really good stuff in there, setting vision and goals for 3 and 10-year plans, little things like, we drew a floor plan for our dream home and see how that connected. And our dream homes are pretty much overlapping. Like we're pretty in sync about that, and it started painting the picture of all the lessons we learned in premarital counseling so far. So like, in setting goals for the next couple of years, you start thinking about like, how are we what do we want our finances to be in 3 years? Previously we talked about who's managing the finances and how are we going to manage the finances. But now we're thinking about, okay, where do we want to be in 3 years, both in our careers and as a family? And, how far along do we want children? And all of that good stuff. And it's just really interesting because like, even as we're going through premarital counseling, we started watching, we continued our
Continued,
watch.
Yeah.
It was on hiatus for a while. But we continued watching the Black Love doc. And
on OWN.
On OWN, yes. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really amazing. Lots of Black love on there. Lots of Black positivity. Couples that worked. Nobody divorced. And that's important.
That is important.
And on Black Love Doc, it kind of reinforced everything that I'm learning and that we're learning.
Yeah.
In premarital counseling, because in the show there were some episodes where they started talking about parenting and like how they wanted to be a parent and how they want to impact their children. Like there was I forgot their names, but there was a couple and he was saying how he's raising girls, like he has two girls, and he really wanted to be mindful about how he talked to their mother when they have disagreements, because he's mindful that the fact that a man can be a little imposing at times, and he doesn't want his little girls to grow up intimidated by Black men and how they talk.
Yeah, I really like Black Love Doc. I think the importance of that show shares about the wisdom that couples have gone through, right? Or the wisdom and the insights that couples have being married, whether they're only a year in or whether they're 25 years in, right? There are lessons that are being learned at every single stage. And so the breadth of wisdom that a 25-year-old marriage has, they're also going through some new challenges that they didn't have in their first year of marriage, because they're living and they're changing and they're morphing and they're looking at the different patches of life. And so I really, there's so many couples that I really like. One of the couples that I enjoyed was LaToya Luckett and her husband.
Yeah.
So they're almost in every episode. And actually, Dondre Whitfield and his wife, Sally Whitfield, I think that's her name, Sally.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Sally. Yeah, it is Sally. Sally Richardson Whitfield, I think is her whole name. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I like them because they give so much insight. Dondre and Sally have gone through so much.
Yeah.
There was a time where Sally was just like, I didn't like him for a whole year. And it's just like, wow, but y'all still married. And the point that she's making is there are going to be times where you're not always going to like your spouse. There are going to be times where you don't always like want to be around your spouse, but you're choosing to show up in the everydays of the life, the everydayness of life. You're choosing to be with this person. And so there's moments where you have to go back to remember, like, why am I choosing this person? Like, why am I choosing to be here? LaToya Luckett said that on the night that they got married, they had to really work through her husband's daughter, which is her daughter too, her bonus daughter, Madison. They had to work out where Madison was going to go on the night of their wedding. He was thinking, well, Madison's coming with us. We one big happy family. And she's like, wait a minute. We just got married today. What do you mean Madison's coming with us? This is our night. And so I heard them, right? I could hear what her husband is saying, like, I got to take care of my baby. And his relationship with his daughter is so important. And that is a sacred bond, right? The relationship between a father and daughter is a very sacred bond. But I also could hear LaToya's point, being the wife, like, this is our night. You know, there are many times that we're going to have to compromise and we're going to have to bend. But this is a night where we have to say it's about us. And they actually really had a disagreement that night. But they worked it out because obviously they're still married.
Right.
And, you know, and they're here to tell the story. But there's so many other couples as well. Jamal really likes Kev on Stage and his wife, Melissa. Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah. First of all, it was interesting learning Kevin on Stage wife's name because I just know her as Mrs. Kevin on Stage.
That's true. That's very true. Because even when we watch their show Love Therapy.
Yeah.
I still don't. Yeah, it's like
Mrs. Kevin on Stage. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and the coolest thing about this show is that you see things that you don't. Well, something I haven't experienced too much of is just like Black married couples, and they get raw. Yeah. About some of their troubles and stuff, some of their trials and tribulations, to be still a phrase. But like, and Kev on Stage and Melissa, they were telling the story about how she experienced her parents divorcing and how that affected their marriage even after they had kids. So like when because her parents got divorced later in life, so when they got divorced, it kind of tore her apart.
Yeah.
And she carried that into her marriage, and she just subconsciously, she was thinking like, oh my God, if my parents who were married for almost my entire life can end up getting divorced after all of this time, what chance do I have in my marriage?
Yeah.
And, you know, even after her son was born, because some people think like, okay, once they have the kid, you start thinking like, okay, we're going to make it. But she was like, her parents had me, so what's going to happen? Like, can this fall apart? She got married young, so she's like, was I just young and dumb? Did I rush into it? And, you know, Kevin was just pretty much, he said he sat her down. He told her, like, look, we're us. Mm-hmm. You're not your parents. Mm-hmm. You got to let go of what they did or didn't do, however they worked out or didn't work out. That's not your fault.
Right.
We got to work on our marriage. Our family is me, you, and our child.
That's right. And that's so important, right? One of the blessings that we've had in premarital counseling is hearing that we are not like any marriage that we've ever seen. We are not going to be like any other couple. We are as unique together as we are going to be unique individually, right? How every person has their own fingerprints. Our marriage is going to be our own fingerprints. And I just realized I was like, I'm not with my rings. But hey, listen. We're still together. Obviously. Right, we're getting married. It's live. I just forgot. Okay.
It's over there.
It's over there. It's in its box where it should be. Right. It's so funny because we are our own, and we have to create the marriage we may or may not have ever seen. Because we are two people who are bringing a wealth of experiences together. And we are making our own unit. We are Portia and Jamal. We're Jamal and Portia. We're going to be us. And what might be what's going on in someone else's marriage may not be okay for us. What might be unacceptable for another couple might actually be acceptable for us. Right. We're negotiating. We're figuring that out, you know, what the terms of our marriage are going to look like. And you know, even as we set them now, things might change down the line, and we might negotiate things because we're who we are today. But who we are today isn't going to be who we are 30 years from now, when we're still married. Amen.
Amen.
You know, God willing. You know, everything's God willing, right? And so, God willing, you know, we will still be here. You know, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now. You know, I would love to celebrate a golden anniversary with you. You know, we'll be in our 80s.
Hey, aging gracefully.
Aging gracefully, yeah. You know, black don't crack.
Beige don't age.
You know.
You know.
So all of that. So yeah, I love being with you, and I can't wait to create this marriage with you. I know we're on camera, but you know, I'm looking at you, and looking at you, I'm like, oh, I want to talk to you.
Black love, you know.
It is, and I love you a lot.
I love you.
No, I really do.
I really do.
Like I really love you, and I really appreciate you. And as a black man living in America, I can honestly say that I pray for you every day. I think about you all the time. When we're apart, you know, from each other, when you go for your runs or whatever, you know, that you do, you know, when we're apart, I always pray for you that, you know, that I don't get that call, you know, or that I don't turn on the news and see that news. So, and every day that you're in my life, you know, I cherish you and I'm grateful for you. And I love you a lot, honey. I really do. And I'm looking forward to, you know, spending life with this guy. You know, I'm really grateful that God brought you here. So, I love black love. I feel you about to say something.
Yeah,
he know I don't like it because, you know, I get emotional.
She was just going to give a whole speech and then cut me off, right? I love you too, buddy. I love you too, babe. You know, you're an amazingly intelligent black woman. You are dope all by yourself.
Thank you.
You're a black woman. That means you can do anything.
Thank you.
And I know, as your future husband, sooner rather than later, that me leading this household doesn't mean I hold you back in any kind of way.
Oh.
So, you know, look out, world, because she coming.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. As Jamal knows, I love to affirm other people, but it's hard for me sometimes to receive affirmation from myself. Not that I don't think I'm worthy of it, because I do believe that I'm worthy of all of the affirmation. Because I was born, so God affirmed me the moment that I had entered into the world.
Hey.
So I know that I'm worthy, but it's still sometimes, you know, harder for me to receive affirmation because I've been, you know, gassed up a good chunk of my life. And so I'm like, are people for real? But I've learned to, you know, listen and receive, you know, Jamal.
Yeah, that's why you got me.
All the time.
I'll be here to gas you up and cheer you on for as long as God lets me.
Listen, whenever you're in love, you know, whenever you are in friendship, whatever kind of relationship, affirm people in your life.
Big facts.
Okay? And take the compliment and just say thank you, you know, and love it. It's
let
great.
your loved ones bless you.
Yeah, let your loved ones bless you. So that's our show for today. You know,
yep.
We'll see y'all same time next week. Remember to follow us at God's Got Jokes TV on Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please share this video with someone as well. It's always a joy and a pleasure, really, to be here with y'all. Like, we love doing this.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram once again, at God's Got Jokes TV. And follow us individually. I'm at Jamal Ridge Comedy.
And I'm at Portionality.
Yep. Love you guys. See you guys next week.